sit here in the doctor's office after, let's have a look at that date. That says August the 17th when my specialist gave me a referral and said I needed iron infusions. It is now November the 1st. So I'm here seeing another doctor, trying to get some answers and get this done. Stay tuned. I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm just overwhelmed because I just got the okay to do a one-time infusion until my other doctor comes back. And coincidentally, this is the doctor that told me that iron infusions were, too many of them were bad. So I showed him my specialist letter that was, stating that, give Christina an infusion at the earliest convenience, which was August, and now we're November the 1st. And guys, I'm going to get an infusion. All right, well, here I am. I have my requisition number, and I'm going to get my infusion, you guys. This has been an ongoing battle. I will maybe give you guys an update about what my history of being iron deficient. I actually have a diagnosis from a specialist. Finally, in August, I was diagnosed with an iron deficiency. I just simply don't absorb iron. So I know I have had many people say to me, yeah, just eat some meat, take some supplements. And that is actually not the case for people with an iron deficiency. I actually don't absorb iron. I've had endoscopy, I've had colonoscopy, I've had every single test possible that you could check for extra bleeding, internal bleeding, all that kind of stuff. And I am just simply, I don't absorb iron in my stomach, guts, intestines, etc. And yes, I eat really healthy. So I was practicing a plant-based diet for years, and was given the the information by a specialist that to go against what people were telling me, that just eat some iron, just eat some meat of some sort, red meat, liver. And actually the specialist said to me, you could eat a liver every single week, which is disgusting, by the way. And your iron levels wouldn't go up because you are just dealing with this deficiency. So it's proof that I do in fact need these infusions to keep my levels up, because I just don't absorb iron like normal people. So here we go, you guys. I will keep you posted. Check it out. Have no idea how amazing this feeling will be when I get the relief. Iron deficiency ranges from extreme exhaustion, shortness of breath, restless leg syndrome, feeling full anxiety, depression, just because your body is not full of the right stuff. The shortness of breath and the dizzy spells is probably the worst, obviously, considering I'm supposed to be working out multiple days a week and never have energy to do anything high intensity. So this is amazing. I'm sure you're fine. Okay. As long as you can find it.
Ready?
That was really good.
Okay, we're good. So.
No, you're good.
No longer embarrassed.
No. Well, that is a wrap. That was approximately 3 hours that it took. That's normal when it comes to by the time you get in and you wait for the nurses to get you set up. And for those that were asking, yeah, the reason why it's done in a hospital is just in case there is any adverse side effects or reactions or anything. So they check your blood pressure and heart rate and stuff every half an hour. And yeah, just make sure everything's good. So I'm done, and it's not an instant feeling like everybody thinks it is, which again, I'm just relieved I got it done. But yeah, it will take about a week. I find that all of a sudden out of nowhere, I could do something that I didn't do last week, or I couldn't do last week, or I just didn't have the energy to do last week. So it's gradual, but yeah, this is, I don't know, like I said, this has been a losing battle, it feels, if that makes sense. I know I was super emotional in the beginning of this because it's a constant fight with our healthcare system. I was diagnosed with iron deficiency in August through a specialist, and I've been dealing with this for years. It started with my daughter. Prior to getting pregnant with my daughter Julia, who's now 7, I got 1 shot of Depo-Provera. So for those of you that don't know, it's a terrible drug, but at the time didn't know any better. It's a form of birth control that's just an injection. You actually don't need to take a pill every day. So for me, I was like, oh well, I always forget my pills, so let's not try and get pregnant, and let's take this. And my doctor didn't give me any side effects or any information about the side effects. Was very scarce about it, didn't say much. You know, yes, I should have researched. Yes, I should have done that. But I was just, you know, whatever, that was just the way it was at the time. And, you know, did give me the warning that I would maybe have light bleeding or light spotting. And that is one of the things that it says on there. But I experienced heavy hemorrhaging bleeding for the entire time that injection was in my body. And that's where my bleeding issues started. I have had nothing but iron issues since that one shot. So like, that's just one form of medication that messed up my life for the last 8 years. In some sort of way, threw everything out of whack. I've gone from going to the doctor to be put on birth control pills to regulate my bleeding, which we all know that's hormones and the changes of your hormones, and too much progesterone and not enough estrogen, or vice versa. The last round of birth control my doctor put me on, my blood pressure went through the roof. So imagine having super high blood pressure and really low iron. So I actually ended up passing out. And actually hit my head on my table in my living room because I got a dizzy spell and I actually passed out. And I ended up with a concussion. And yeah, it was an awful. So that's where the severe part of the iron deficiency kind of hit to a head. My ferritin was at a 4, the lowest it's ever been. So for anybody with iron issues, if you've ever been under 10, it feels like you're living through hell. And I don't want to say that to scare anybody. Like, my iron right now, before this infusion, was it's been teetering around 60. And I know everybody's like, oh, well, that's really good. But the thing is the general practitioners, they don't know what your iron is supposed to be. I have researched and spoken with many people who actually work in iron clinics in the States, and your iron is supposed to be over 100 to be fully functioning. Like, if you have iron that's even between 70 to 80 to 90, you can still experience thinness of your hair, you know, your hair's falling out. So my hair has been like chronically falling out for the last couple of years. Like, it's my hair. I mean, everybody was like, oh, well, it's because we're aging. And I'm like, no, like, I've just noticed these gradual things that are constantly happening because my iron levels are never at the top. You know, I would love to have too much iron. But unfortunately that's not the case here. So I've never been like full when it comes to a full tank. Like, so say if, you know, my body was a tank and I've always been, you know, at, you know, half or low below half or a quarter. Like it's been really, really tough. So yeah, so there's my shtick on that. If you guys have any questions, honestly ask, because I've had so many women come to me and say I've dealt with the same problem and you guys need to push. I went above my doctor's head because I was given a diagnosis by a specialist at Grace Hospital in Winnipeg. And he was the most amazing, if you guys want to message me and I'll let you know who it was, but he was the most amazing person. He gave me all the information that, no other general practitioner has given me. And he's like, just like B12 shots, if you need B12 shots, you get B12 shots. Well, why is it not the same for iron? Like, these general practitioners do not see iron or lack of iron as a red flag. They think that if your level of ferritin is 30 and above, or 30 and around 30, oh, that's normal, that's no big deal. And what I was told by the specialist was anything over 100 is normal. So, I'm going to believe the specialist who had many more years of practice, and he had some really valuable information for me. So, you know what? And I know that after my infusions, I feel like $1 million. So I'm going based on symptoms. I'm not going based on what a number is, because we all know that there's a general chart or there's a general number that says, you're on the lower spectrum or the higher spectrum. Like, I'm going to go based on symptoms, and I feel like I can, actively and feel amazing after working out. And during working out. I don't have shortness of breath. I'm not getting dizzy. I can actually get out of bed and function. I can, like I'm supposed to, like we're all supposed to. So I believe our medical system can do better. Our healthcare system can do way better, instead of, me going to see a specialist and then having concrete, oh my goodness, where's my paper? Having concrete as evidence. Like, so there's a general referral thing here, giving the feedback that the specialist was answering all the questions for my general doctor and gave her, hey, Christina has a concrete, here's evidence, she's got an iron deficiency, this is the plan, this is what we're going to do for her, this is what I want you to do for her. And that letter, there's a second letter that went to her, a follow-up letter, because she didn't listen to the first one. I don't know the reason. So it actually said in there, please give her an iron infusion at your earliest convenience. Like I mentioned earlier, that was August the 17th. It is now November the 1st. So I followed up with her in, September. By the time this letter got to my doctor here in Stonewall from Grace Hospital, and I booked an appointment with her right away. Okay, I brought this in, I printed it and brought it in and highlighted the area that it said, please give her an infusion at your earliest convenience. Then she decided to say, well, the doctor says he doesn't want your iron getting lower than 50. Okay, right? Yeah, me too. Like that would be awesome. And she's like, well, no, let's go for a blood test, But I said, well, you're going to give me an infusion like it says here on the paper. And, oh, yeah, like she actually promised me, looked me in the eyes to my face. Yeah, we just want to keep up with our blood tests, make sure that we know where we're at. I got a phone, I didn't stalk her, but I called multiple times when that blood test came back. She finally booked a phone appointment with me, not an in-person appointment. It's a phone appointment from her home. She was working from home that day, and said, I am refusing because your iron went up 1 point. So when the specialist said, hey, I'd like you to get an infusion now so you can obviously get topped up and feel better and not having chest pains and this feeling, I want you to be tip top. So he knew what my number was. And because my number went up by 1 point, by one, which makes no difference. If you know ferritin, it makes no difference. So that could have just been, it could have been anything. I don't even know. So anyways, long story short, yeah, she said, and I quote, I am refusing to give you an iron infusion at this point. Book an appointment with me in 2 months and we will redo your blood work. So you tell me how unfair that is when I have a specialist backing me up, giving me a diagnosis and giving a plan to my doctor. And she downright says, I'm refusing to do this for whatever the reasons are. So what did I do? I've been calling the office. I called him. I told him what was going on. He called this office, but of course my doctor hasn't been in. She's not here. Whatever. So last week I was feeling really crappy again, and I was like, oh, what the heck? I'm going to call her and see if I can get in with her and see if I can have another uneventful conversation with her, because, you know, that's what it seems to be. No, I'm not getting any answers, but maybe if I keep bugging her, maybe something will happen. So anyways, so she's not here. So I booked an appointment with the same doctor that told me too many iron infusions was bad, and he dangled the carrot in front of me and said, well, you know, I'm going to get this done for you because the specialist says here, but I could refuse it because your regular doctor didn't want to do it, you know? So these doctors, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not going to give up. I'm done with this game that keeps going back and forth. And I'm telling you guys have to stand your ground when it comes to taking care of yourself and your medical needs. If someone says no, don't take no for an answer. When it comes to your health and it's actually directly affecting your health, you guys have to push. You have to get someone to help you. If you can't stand up for yourself, get someone to do it. I've had my mother in with me more than once in my appointments as a grown adult. And I've had, you know what I mean? Like, you have to have somebody advocate for you. So I'm telling you, if you need any sort of help or advice, I am not a doctor. I'm not like anything in the medical field stuff. I mean, I am a health coach and a fitness trainer, etc. But from experience, I can give you a little bit of guidance or support in this area, because I've unfortunately dealt with this way too long. So here is yet another vlog of my iron deficiency / iron infusion journey. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and I'd be happy to support you along in this struggle with our healthcare system. All right, you guys, checking out. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for listening. Christina, checking out. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, Christina here. I just wanted to pop on and say thank you so much for all of your messages and prayers and checking in with me. I had my iron infusion yesterday, and I am dealing with one wicked migraine. I'm actually trying to eat something. I got oatmeal on the go, but having a really hard time keeping it down because I'm nauseous today, which is really odd. I've had that once before after an infusion. I guess it could be anything, but yeah, no, just there can be some side effects. Fortunately enough for me, they are minor, so that I can continue to keep getting these infusions. Many of you are asking why I can't absorb iron. I really have no idea. This problem started when I took Depo-Provera for birth control, and many of my bleeding issues started from there. So I actually will be doing a vlog and posting that shortly on my YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that. Today is definitely a rest and recover day, and lots of sleep. This is the only way I need to. Unfortunately, iron infusions do not give you that boost of energy instantly. I mean, yes, it's a form and a psychological sense of relief, but it does take a full 2 weeks to feel the full effects of the iron binding back to your cells, and, you know, finding its way back to where it's supposed to be. So it's a process, but definitely much quicker than any sort of oral absorbing iron in the form of supplements or food. So this is a instant relief, but still takes a couple days and or a couple weeks for something to happen. Thanks for listening, you guys. I'll keep you posted and watch for that vlog. Take care. Bye.